Joining us here live on the Bears video is new Washington University head baseball coach Steve Duncan. Well, Steve, you interviewed here at Washington University, and a few days later you were waiting around for that phone call from Athletic Director John Shale, and that phone call finally came. How was it?
Well, I have been sitting by the phone because after I interviewed out here, I recognized what a great school it was, and particularly what a great opportunity being the head baseball coach here would be. And when I went back after interviewing, I wanted it so badly because I recognized just what an unbelievable opportunity it was and how much potential there would be.
So Steve, how excited are you to take your first head coaching job and lead the Washington University baseball team?
Well, I couldn't be more excited. This is a dream come true for me. I think this is one of the top baseball coaching jobs in all of Division III. Part of the reason I was so excited about it, it's just a wonderful situation. The program has a rich history in baseball, and it's got potential for a lot more success. And also just with it coming to this athletic department where almost every other team has won a national championship, the bar is set so high and the people here are so great, and that's one of the things that really attracted me to Washington University was the people I'd be working with.
Steve, you spent your last three seasons at Johns Hopkins and made 2 World Series appearances. What can you take from those experiences you've had at Johns Hopkins and bring those here to Washington University?
Well, at Hopkins, yeah, as you mentioned, we went to the World Series twice. And so the expectation level was really high. And that was our goal every year, was to get to the World Series. And to succeed 2 out of 3 times, it really showed me how much work it takes to get there. And nothing comes easily. And to make the NCAA tournament at all is quite an accomplishment. To take it to that next level and make it to the World Series is a career accomplishment for most players and most coaches. And I understand how hard it is to get there. I also learned, at Hopkins, we had really smart players, smart, intelligent players. At Washington University, we have the ability to take advantage of the intellect of the players and not just play with our physical gifts, but also use our intellectual gifts. Which gives us an advantage over the teams we play if we can combine those two and play smart baseball, and that's what we're going to do here at Washington.
So, speaking of some of the goals, what are a couple of your goals here at Washington University in your first year as head coach?
Well, in a big picture sense, my goal as a college baseball coach is to develop young men and help them become great people. As far as baseball goes, Washington University baseball's been to the NCAA tournament a number of times. That will be my goal every year, is to make the NCAA tournament, starting with this year. We've got a lot of good players coming back. The program's in good shape, and there's a lot more potential to be realized. And I want to help the program realize the potential and make it an NCAA contender every single year.
Steve, you've been fortunate to be mentored by 2 really successful coaches, John Verthaven at Biola and Robert Babb at Johns Hopkins. What have you learned while coaching with both of these mentors?
Well, both Coach Verhoeven and Coach Babb have been extremely successful throughout their careers, and they've developed a reputation not just as great baseball coaches, but as great men, and men who know how to treat people, who respect people, and who know how to treat their players. And that's the kind of coach I want to be known by 30 years from now. And both of them taught me a lot of lessons baseball-wise. I probably learned more in the last 4 years that I've been coaching than I knew in my entire playing days prior to that. So they've taught me so much of the game, and they've taught me how to treat people, and I'll always be grateful to the 2 of them for that.
Last question, Steve. Following graduate school, you worked for Merrill Lynch as a financial advisor for 3 years. What made you get back into college baseball coaching?
Well, I worked at Merrill Lynch for 2 years, and I did enjoy those days. It was a great experience for me. I learned a lot. I just missed baseball. I missed it tremendously. I missed having coached 1 year in graduate school. I missed that. I missed the interaction with young people, and I missed just the game of baseball, which I absolutely love. And ever since then, of making that switch, I've never looked back, and it's one of the best decisions I ever made in my life.
And that's new Washington University head baseball coach Steve Duncan.